Hello, hey, welcome back to the Code Chic. In today's video, I'll be taking you through HTML attributes and anchor tags. By the end of this video, you'll be able to create HTML elements with attributes to add links to their pages. Let's dive in. An anchor tag allows us to move around the web. You can use anchor tag to jump around on a web page, a website, to link to files on your computer, create links to other websites. Now, in my previous videos, I mentioned that the internet is a series of interconnected links, and now we allow us to navigate or move around on the web. Sometimes we call that web surf. Now, how do you identify links on the web? 1. By default, a link that is unvisited is underlined and blue. Let's go back to the previous slide. We notice that one of this word blue, and when we hover through this word, we realize that the cursor changes into a hand icon. This is the number one indicator that this word web is a link. So what happens when we click on this link? We are redirected to google.com. That is one way you can. The second way is when you hover through this, on the bottom left corner of your browser, you'll be able to see a URL that redirects you to another page. So let's move on. Now, by default, links that are unvisited are underlined and blue. A visited link is underlined and purple. An active link is underlined and red. Let's go to google.com and then search for something. For example, I have not visited this link, and so it appears blue, underlined, and so I'm going to open this link. I hope you can notice that when I open the link, the color changes to purple. This is what we meant by a visited link appears underlined and purple by default. A link that is active will appear underlined and red in color. So let's move on to the next thing. Looking at this slide, what characteristic? This is emoji me. We notice that this person has got a name, this person has got a gender, this person has got date of birth, and this person has got nationality, and many more other characteristics to mention. So this will bring us to what we call attribute. Okay, just like describing someone, you can add specificity tag using HTML attribute. Attributes provide additional information about an element. They are always included in the opening tag. All HTML elements can have attributes, and they normally come in name and value pair. So let's look at an example of an attribute. We have the href attribute. Anchor tags have href attribute, which normally tells the browser where the link is on the internet. Let's look at this example. We have an anchor tag, we have this opening tag, and then inside the opening tag we have what we call an attribute, which is href, and it is linking to a specific site, which is a URL. So this URL has a content inside, and this content, and then we have a text that the user sees, and then we have a closing tag. So this simply means that this particular attribute tells us where to go when the user clicks on this text. Easily understand the href attribute. Simply look at an envelope. We have one saying to Feni Kampala. Now this two is the href, and then given a link and content and text which the user sees. So this simply tells the user that this link is where you will go. That is Feni, just like an address here. So in summary, attributes are always included in the opening tag. All HTML. So let's look at a quick example in our code. Let's open our VS Code, and so we are going to give a simple demonstration of an attribute as stated in the example slide. So let's just state, let's write here. So we have our h1, welcome. So let's have h1, welcome Feni to my website, Feni Nyayich. But now we want this Feni Nyayich to be a link. So let's see how this looks before we add a link. This is how the page, the HTML page will look. Welcome Feni Nyayich. Now let's go ahead and add a link just the way we explained in this slide. So we are just going to simply target this word Feni Nyayich, and then we shall add an anchor tag in there. So this word will come inside the anchor tag, just cut it and paste it, and then we shall go get the link. So this is the link. Let's just copy it and then paste it. So when we come back to our page, we see that this word is underlined, and when we click on it, it takes us to Fanny's website. So that's how we link web pages. Now let's try another example. Let's add a link to our website about our favorite movie. Let's go back to our VS Code, and then we can add maybe a heading and call it my favorite movie list. So let me view this document. So we have here my favorite movie lists. Let's view it side by side. Let's open browser. So we are going to add in some concepts of using lists, anchor tags. So first is, we have two types of lists as mentioned in the previous video. If you want to understand lists, you can go back to the previous video and watch. So we are going to use ordered lists, and inside the ordered lists we shall create list items, but these list items are links to our favorite movies. So to link each of those movies, we shall go to IMDb, for example, and get Black Panther. So what we do is we simply copy this link and then add it to our attribute. This will be the value of our attribute. So we do the same for Avengers. So let's go and search for Avengers. So we have the Avengers. You simply right click on it and copy a link address, and then come back here and add your value of attribute here. The same thing, we go and search for Captain America. Takes us to the Avengers page. The same if we do for Captain America. We see that it takes us Captain America, and that is the use of the href attribute. However, there are so many other attributes that we shall be using. Since that was example of href attributes and how to use it, we use them to move around the web. Then attributes are always included in the opening tag, and all HTML elements can have attributes. So that does not only apply to the anchor tag, any other tag, for example the form tag, the button tag, the div tag, the section tag, the p tag, all those tags can have attributes, and attributes are written in pairs. We have the name of the attribute and the value. In the examples we looked at, we saw href as the name of the attribute and value as the destination URL. So the anchor tag defines a hyperlink which is used to link pages from one to another. The most important attribute of the anchor tag is the href attribute. This indicates the link's destination. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any question, comment down below, or you can send me a DM via Twitter at FenCodes. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.